Today we go back to the Jag room, except this time, let's play some Jag platformers. Oh yeah. Welcome to the Poor Man's Retro Game Room, and the last Jaguar video, and I know there's some people out there that just can't stand the way I say that. I think it's supposed to be Jaguar, but you know what? I grew up saying Jaguar, and that's the way I'm going to say it. So don't put it in the comment. don't put it in the comments. I've already got it. But anyway, let's have some fun tonight. My last Jaguar video, I kind of did a video on the true Atari Jaguar experience. And, kind of showed you some games that really showed off the Jaguar's capability. But today I wanted to go into my collection and choose 5 platformers. These are officially released cartridges for the Atari Jaguar. And there's a stinker in there, but most of them are actually pretty good. And there might even be a few there that, some people who didn't have the Jaguar or, be around it or was exposed to it, maybe they don't even know that these games were available on the Jaguar. So, well, without further ado, let's get started, and we're going to get the stinker out of the way, and then we're going to get to some good platformers. So the first one, man, this game kills me because the graphics are bright, colorful, a lot of contrast. It should have been a good platformer, and that's Bubby. Man, it even gets stuck when I'm trying to say the word. Bubby for the Atari Jaguar is not a good experience. If you disagree with me, please put it in the comments, because I haven't found anybody who actually likes this game. And I tried, man. I did. I really did. It looks good, it sounds good, and you think, man, this that's almost worse, There's a game that you can tell would be really, really good, but it just stinks. And the more you try, the more it just kind of dawns on you that this game's not going to get any better, and I'm not going to get very far in it because it's completely cheap. And I don't say that about games very often, but man, this one is. And I've tried it. I really have. And like I said, graphics are nice. It's a bright, colorful game. But man, there's just so many ways to die and so many ways to take hits. The hit detection is just terrible. You can't even tell sometimes, like there's a part where you can jump. I thought you could jump on some balloons maybe and get to a higher platform, but no, if that balloon, yeah, that's right, a balloon touches you, you die. And if you don't try to jump over the balloons, wherever you're standing, the enemy actually reaches out to the side and kills you that way. And it's just ridiculous. It really is. And I don't know if it wasn't, they didn't take enough time, put enough time into the game. I don't know, but man, it's not good. And, if you're a collector, yeah. And that's the only reason I own this game, CIB, is because I collect for the Atari Jaguar. Yeah, I would say avoid this one. Not good. And if I had to give it a score, oh man, I think it'd probably be a 2 out of 10. Maybe a 1.5 out of 10. I don't know. I'd love to hear somebody talk to me or comment that actually likes the game, has gotten far in the game. Because hey, I'd love to be proven wrong. I just don't see it happening. And man, there's only so many times I can bang my head against a wall and until I get the message. Okay, so the next one on my list, and this is a good platformer. I don't really know if I would consider it, like the 4th best platformer. It might be the 3rd or 2nd, but I don't know. I couldn't make up my mind, so we're going with 4, and that's Zuul II. And I completely missed out on this back in the day. However, when I recollected my Jaguar and first got it back, it came with Zuul II loose, just the cart. And it's the first time I ever played Zuul II. And I actually really, really liked it. It's a lot of fun. And there's a couple of ways to play this game. In the options menu, you can turn momentum off. And that's the way I play it. Some may like that momentum on, but you will, like if you're trying to stop and that's on, it kind of gets a little slippery and the control just isn't as tight as it should be. I always go in there and turn that momentum off, and it really does help. But man, it's a cool game, and you can play as a male or a female ninja. Um, and it's a collectathon. It really is, because you have to collect a certain amount of candy. It was the 90s, and it's a platformer, but whatever. You had to collect a certain amount of candy before you could actually exit the stage. And it's a lot of fun. And there's bonus stages in there that, if you find the bonus like token type of thing, then it opens the bonus game once you finish that particular, all 3 worlds or stages in that world. But it's very, very colorful. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Sonic, but don't think it's Sonic the Hedgehog. It's not. But it was in that kind of vein and that era of platformers. And Zuul's got a lot of attitude, and there's a lot of cool different moves that he has as well. I often use the one where it's a jump and you spin, and if you jump and spin, you can actually damage enemies, kill enemies, get rid of them. You can pick up all kinds of power-ups, stuff that'll float around you and protect you, make you invincible for a short amount of time. All the basic stuff that most platformers have in it. But it is a very unique looking platformer, and I love the colors in it. I believe it was an Amiga game. I never, had the Amiga, but Zuul II is really good. I really do like it. And I could recommend Zuul II. And I had it loose. I went into a game store in Fort Collins, and they had it complete in box, and it just blew me away that they actually had an Atari Jaguar game, first of all. It was a retro game store. But even in retro game stores, you don't find a lot of Jaguar stuff. And they had Zuul II, and I believe it was $45, and this is only like 2 or 3 years ago. And I couldn't pass that up. It's got, the manual, everything. It's complete. And the box is in pretty darn good shape. So, yeah, I couldn't pass that up. So I got Zuul II, and I sent the cart off to a friend in a trade, the loose cart. And, haven't looked back. This is cool, man. Zuul II, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun, especially if you own a Jaguar. And if you have the Jag drive, the Atari Jaguar drive, the Jag drive, I guess the Jag game drive, let me get that straight. Like I do, make sure you download the ROM and stick it on there, because it's actually worth it. It's a good game. All right, so Pitfall: The Mayan Adventures came out on all types of different platforms, and I never realized that this was out on the Atari Jaguar back in the day, but it completely makes sense, right? A Pitfall game on an Atari system? Absolutely. Now, a few things about this game. It is kind of dark, so you do need to kind of adjust the brightness on your set when you're playing it. And I don't know, it's a lot of fun. And I would say it stacks up, if maybe not even better than some of the other versions on some of the other platforms. It seems like the resolution might be a little bit better. It really does play well, and I love playing Pitfall: The Mayan Adventures on the Atari Jaguar. And there's actually places in the game where you can uncover the original Pitfall, the one that was on the Atari 2600, and that's pretty cool, man. So Pitfall: The Mayan Adventures. The Jaguar is a great way to play this game, and I'm super happy to have this in my collection. It's awesome, man. All right, one of the other games that came out on several different platforms, and I never realized it was on the Jaguar. Back in the day when I owned my original Jaguar, I had 5 or 6 games for it. But Flashback, this game is awesome. And on the Jaguar, it's really good. And it's kind of a mix between some of the CD-based cutscenes at the beginning of the game, and it just kind of does its own thing there. And I don't know, it's a mix of like the other platformers, the other platforms, sorry. You know, maybe a mix of the cartridge-based ones and the CD-based ones, but it's cool, man. And I played Flashback on the Jaguar quite a bit, got pretty darn far in it, actually farther than I had before when I owned it, you know, back on the Sega Genesis back in the day. And, you know, other than the Sega CD version, this would be my second most preferred way to play Flashback. It is really good. The only thing that I will say is the sound does seem to be a little bit muted, so you do need to kind of turn up your set a little bit, turn the sound up a bit. I don't know why that is, but no big deal. Certainly not a deal breaker, that's for sure. Turn up the sound a little bit and enjoy some Flashback. It's a good experience on the Atari Jaguar. Looks absolutely fantastic. All right. I saved the best till last, and I only own this one loose, and I'm just happy to have it loose. But Rayman came out on the Atari Jaguar, and it was exclusive to the Jaguar at that time. This was before the PS1, and it was kind of meant to be an exclusive Atari Jaguar game until, you know, the system started to fail. The sales weren't what it should have been, and, you know, you could see the writing on the wall when the PS1 came out and was released, and so they released it on the PS1 as well. And I'll tell you, there's some slight differences between versions. Maybe the music, you know, is probably a little bit better on the PS1, and there's a few sounds added to the PS1. There's a few other differences as well. I haven't spent a lot of time with the PS1 version. I did have it back in the day, but I was playing, you know, football games and Twisted Metal and Resident Evil. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time with it. One of these days I would like to do a comparison video and sit down and just check out the differences for myself, do a little research and see what's going on between the two differences. But if you're really well versed on that, man, put it in the comments. I'm sure anybody would love to see it. I know somebody put some things in a comment of a short that I made about Rayman and had some really good information. So if you're still out there, yeah, leave us a good comment. But I absolutely love Rayman on the Atari Jaguar. It is so colorful. It's just a pleasure to play on the Jaguar. But anyway, it is fantastic. You're not missing really anything playing it on the Jaguar. You know, it's just a great experience, and it's really cool to have this and to know that it first was released on the Atari Jaguar and was meant to be just kind of a Jaguar game, at least kind of an exclusive for a certain amount of time anyway. Very, very cool. And it blew my mind when I actually received this in the mails before I had the the Jaguar game drive, and got this in the mail and purchased it off of eBay and got a fairly good deal. It's an expensive game, especially complete in box. It's over $300 CIB for sure. Sometimes $400. But honestly, this game's worth it. I really do wish I had the box and manual. One of these days, maybe I'll be able to do that. But yeah, it's great, and it's a really cool part of Jaguar history and just the history of the system. So it's really cool. Really super happy. This is one of my favorite games to have in my collection, and one of my favorite games on the system. It's amazing. It really did show back before even the PS1 that, you know, what the Jaguar could do. And it's too bad that there wasn't more games like it, and I kind of wish that the Jag would have focused on more 2D games. It did 3D well in certain instances, but man, it was a 2D powerhouse. It really was. So, well, anyway, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What do you think of the Jaguar? Have you ever had one, owned one, played one? seen one? Did you have a friend with one? Did you have one and take a lot of hazing and smack talk back in the day for owning a Jaguar? I did back when I had mine. And but I love the system, love collecting for it. It's one of my most nostalgic systems, really, because really when I had it back then, I didn't know anybody else who owned one. So it was cool, man. So anyway, there you go. There's some cool Atari Jaguar platformers, and check them out if you have a Jag. They're worth it. You know, all of them except yeah, Bubsy. Yeah, not good. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And until next time, we'll catch you later.